We'll get you out here well before the top of the hour, give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games. That's what we do here in the drive-thru Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time is deliver live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And to deliver those winners, our professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. Let's take a peek at who's on the show with us for today. All right, we got Zawacky and Ruta, Oilers and Maple Leafs. We got Chris Ruffolo. It's Wednesdays with Mitch, Big Al McMordie. We got Ninos, Wayne Scott. Dan Lang will sign in about the bottom of the hour, and here's how the lineup for this evening. We got Ruffolo, Mitch, McMordie, Scott, Ninos, Zawacky, Lane, and then I will close this one out. All right, lots of NBA on the board tonight, 9-game card. NHL, and of course, lots of college hoops. We do have a game in progress right now, just tipping off. So we got a lot of conference tournament action. Some of the smaller conference tournaments, some of the lower seeds, so a lot of bad teams in action tonight here in the conference tournaments from the minor conferences. But again, some really good major conference schools in action as well as Mountain West too. A pretty good one for the Mountain West tonight. But let's get this one underway. Let's go to welcome in Chris Ruffolo. You'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Of course, catch the morning show every day at 10 a.m. Eastern Time here on the channel. Also part of the Puck Dogs video series with Chris and Zawacky with those NHL videos. So we'll bring in Chris in right now. I think we're ready to roll with Chris Ruffolo. Chris, what's happening?
Not much, Tony. Like you said it perfectly. It's that time of year, conference tournaments, and I'll tell you, we go back to those COVID years, how we always said we would rather have any basketball than no basketball at all. Yeah, I'm still standing by that, even if I have to watch IUPUI and Robert Morris.
Yeah, it's back to the old Thursday night football. Bad football is better than no football. Bad college basketball is better than no college basketball. I agree with you there 100%. But fortunately, we're going to get some of these bottom tier teams out here in the next couple of days. It'll just be quality here on in the minors. But tonight we go in this one here between the Pistons. Pistons catching another team here with some rest advantage. Pistons here to host the Bulls. Bulls laying 6, total 222.
Yeah, Tony, but to be honest, I don't know if that rest advantage is going to really help them here as the Pistons, one of the 3 teams entrenched at the bottom of the brick for Vic sweepstakes. This Pistons team is just falling fast, and now you're starting to see the injury bug catch up to the Detroit Pistons as well. Jalen Duren ruled out for this one. Isaiah Livers he's been shifted down to doubtful, and that's not good for this Detroit Pistons team that's really had no success against the Chicago Bulls in the past. The Bulls 12-1 against the spread in the last 13 meetings between these two teams. Now, despite all the struggles that the Bulls have had this season, they're still only a game and a half out of the last play-in spot with about 20 games to go. So still lots of time for the Bulls to make up some room. The Wizards, the Raptors have all been inconsistent. The Miami Heat, is crazy to say, but they're still not out of the woods yet themselves. And this is the Chicago Bulls team that can get it done with defense. I mean, they're 4th in the NBA in adjusted defensive efficiency, still top 10 in adjusted net rating. You'd like to see the offense improve, but I'm not sure it's going to matter here against the Pistons, who are 28th in the NBA in adjusted net rating, 30th in adjusted offensive efficiency, 2nd from the bottom adjusted defensive efficiency. I think the Bulls continue their dominance here over the Pistons. I'm going to lay the points with Chicago in this one.
All right, Chris, going to lay the points here with the Bulls here. Lay the 6 here with the Bulls. One thing with the Bulls here, it's been kind of rough for them on the road here, losing 6 of 7 here on the road. Really having trouble sinking those threes away from home.
Yeah, and in today's NBA, you have to be able to sink your threes away from home, and that's 100% true. But I think I would also chalk that up to some of the level of competition that they played on the road. They played Toronto on the road, and Toronto has been picking up their play at home lately. They just couldn't keep up in the track meet with the Indiana Pacers, and like I mentioned, with the Chicago team that's 24th in offensive efficiency, you can't necessarily afford to get into those track meets. Road games against better home teams like Cleveland and Memphis. I just think this is a situational spot where any win, any solid performance is more of a detriment to the Detroit Pistons than it is a help. So still like the Bulls in this one.
All right, Chris here on the Bulls here, lay the 6 against the Pistons. This one will start here top of the hour, right, Chris? Let's take a look over at Pick Dogs for tonight's action. Of course, great results here in NHL for Chris this year. Document over at Pick Dogs Premium, now up to 2,474 units of profit with his 24-hour database here, updating it now. So really good results from Chris from NHL. Tonight we have NHL on the board as well as 9 from the NBA and college hoops. What do you have going on over at the site?
Well, Tony, lots going on tonight. I got a few NHL plays on the board. I got my $15 power play, as well as my NHL hat trick for tonight. Also got an NBA pick play of the day and college hoops slam dunk. I have a 3-pack up for hockey, or if you want my best play from each sport, I have that up as my Whale Bet Wednesday 3-pack, brought back Whale Bet Wednesday. But if you want everything, the best value is to go long term. I mean, it's the best thing that you can do. You take advantage of today, tomorrow, Friday, even until a loaded weekend of college hoops, where you have the conference tournaments and NBA, NHL as well. So definitely best value is to go long term, whether it's just with me or someone else, part of the 2-for-1 capper deal. But whichever way you go, hop on quick because we're gonna be starting the action top of the hour.
That's right, guys. Get on board here with Chris Ruffolo over at Pick Dogs. Premium, see the great results in the NHL. 2,474 units of profit. It is all documented. So if you go over to Chris's handicapper page, you can verify those numbers by going down to pick history. They all add up there on his record. So tonight you get on board with Chris. He does have that NHL power play. That's his $15 premium play. It is credit guarantee. Must turn a profit, or the amount you purchase is credit back in your account for site credits. That is credit guarantee. Also in there with a hat trick, a 3-pack here from the NHL. In action here with a Whale Bet. A Wednesday, a 3 cross-sport 3-pack up there. Play the day from the NBA. A lot of plays are sold individually as well, but instead of buying these plays individually, you may consider the 1-month all sports pass. Probably the best way right now is get the 1-month pass because all the action you get from college basketball. Of course, you get all of Chris's premium plays here from the NBA as well as the NHL, but college basketball has tons of coverage. This will take you all the way until to the end of the Elite Eight, a day before the Final Four. That's how this 30-day pass will work. You get all of Chris's premium plays here from college basketball, NCAA tournament up until the Final Four, as well as all these conference tournaments. All the minor tournaments, the NIT, CBI, and the Basketball Classic also covered here with this 1-month all sports pass. Use promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save 15% off. Add a second capper with that 2-for-1 capper promotion. It's even greater value there. All right, Chris, it's always great having you on the show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you next week, but we can catch up in the mornings here with the morning show with you, Rod and Mitch. In the mornings, of course, your video series, The Puck Dogs, with Rod, cracking out those NHL winners.
Yeah, exactly, Tony. Tons of content. We're going to have the NHL videos up shortly. Lots of videos every single day. We've got some, great schedule today, great schedule tomorrow. Tons of content, like you see at the bottom of the screen here. Make sure you're subscribed. Get those notifications for when all our content comes out, and our live shows as well, the morning show and the drive-thru. That's
right, guys. So make sure you get on board there with the morning show there. And, of course, like, subscribe, set notifications. So when Chris and Rod drop those NHL videos, you get them right away to get the best numbers. All right, Chris, is always great having you on the show. Continue that success, and we'll catch up with you again next week.
Sounds good, Tony. Take care.
You got it. Chris Ruffolo here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on here on the show. Up next, we're going to bring in Mitch. Catch him in the mornings every day here at 10 a.m. Eastern Time with that morning show. Of course, Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes. Mitch, what's happening?
Nothing much, Tony. We're just, trying out a lot of different things on the video front, and we would love to hear your guys' feedback on it as far as what we're doing on our videos. We're doing a lot of shorts. I'm trying to get more handicappers involved in doing some short videos. I haven't had a chance to really talk to everybody yet, but I will. And, we're trying to just find our way. And as the environment, I believe, online and YouTube changes, we always like to be a little bit ahead of the curve as opposed to, everybody else who just copies what we do. So, we're going to set the pace. We're going to, mix things up a little bit, and we're going to see how it serves us. Yeah, those shorts are really good on mobile. Our joint friend tells me that mobile is about 80% of the internet right now. Is that true? I believe that it's at least 80% of the internet right now. I remember back when I got my first iPhone. I had Sports Chat Place back then as well, and it was I remember my first mobile responsive. When my first website first went mobile responsive, what a big deal that was. And now, we're mobile first at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat. When we have our new design that's rolling out. It's a little bit behind right now as to where we want it. We were hoping to get it out by March Madness. Now we're looking at opening day for Major League Baseball. Unfortunately, with any luck, we might be able to get it a little sooner. But we designed the mobile versions first, and then we do the other afterwards, because this is what you guys have, not necessarily how you guys have said that you want it, but the numbers say that this is how you guys do. So we're going to be we're mobile first, and I'm not necessarily mobile first, but that's because I'm old, and it's like, so I like my phone, but I'm also one of these people that have, people look at my phone and they can't believe how few apps I have.
And that's because we do our work at home, right? Because we're at home doing our work. I think that's probably one of the reasons why that it's like that. But
yeah, I mean, you can see I have very few apps on my phone. Very, very few.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it. So most of those came with the phone, I think.
No downloads at all. That's it.
It's like half of them are sports books, and the other ones are like I got TikTok, Instagram, Slack, a few surfing ones, and that's it.
That's it. All right, Mitch. We go tonight to the NBA here. Knicks showing some juice here of late. Nets going the opposite direction with those trades. Kind of the team is not responding, especially defensively. Knicks are laying 7.5, total 223.
Yeah, when we look at this series, the Nets were always the type of team that I like to take, kind of the little brother against the big brother. And, we made a lot of money off the Nets against the Knicks in recent years. They pretty much have pulverized them. But last time out, we saw the Knicks at home get it done against the Nets, and that broke a 9-game winning streak that the Nets had, straight up. Not against the spread, but straight up 9 in a row that they had won against the Knicks. But the Knicks put an end to that in a big way, 124-106. And as Tony just mentioned, the Nets kind of a team that's regressing. A couple of weeks ago, the Nets were comfortably in the playoffs. Right now, they're headed more towards the play-in round. And the Knicks, who were in the play-in scenario, now appear to be, headed into the playoffs. And, the Knicks are 100% healthy here. The Nets, they're not really sure what they're doing here. And, I think the Nets are more concerned about the future than the present, and that's probably the way to go. I always think that if you can't win the championship, you might as well just look to the future. I like the teams that break it down and then build it back up. And you see a lot of those teams perform well, while the other teams that, won't buy into that sort of system, across all sports. That's the way they do it. And we've seen, even in Major League Baseball, they go to the youth movement now as opposed to signing the big name free agents and trying to build it that way. You do it economically. It might take a little bit more time, but we see, a lot of these baseball teams did it that way. But at the same time, we also see, a lot of the other sports that did it that way too. And generally, it's a good way of doing it. We look at the Philadelphia 76ers, and I mean, they have a lot of they kissed a lot of frogs, right? So, but at the same time, you end up with a pretty nice little team that they have there as well. So I think that for the Nets, for them, it's a long-term thing. They've got a zillion draft choices. We know that draft choices doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to be picking players in the draft. That they have those draft choices in. Draft choices are kind of like crypto of the NBA. It's like you just trade as many as you got, you hoard as many as you have, and then when you see something you like, you kind of say, hey, I got these magic beans for that donkey that you're selling. So, I think that we'll probably see the Nets, if things progress faster than what they have. I mean, who knows what's going on behind the scenes? They could be working a deal with the Rockets, for 5 future number ones for the Rockets pick, depending on how this all turns out in the lottery. Because those three top teams for the lottery seem to be pretty much cemented in place right now. But for this game tonight, I just think the Knicks are just too much. They're playing too hard, and they want it more. And I think they've got kicked in the teeth enough times by the Nets in recent years, and their fans have been kicked in the teeth by the Nets enough time in recent years that maybe a little bit of payback. And, back-to-back meetings of these teams have been both in Madison Square Garden, and I think the Knicks, I'll tell you, I lived in New York, and while it's a great sports town, it has a lot of teams, and also, has other sports too, and horse racing and tennis and pretty much everything else, golf, but the end of the day, New York is a basketball town, and they love their Knicks, and expect the Knicks to get it done here.
All right, Mitch here on the Knicks, lay the 7.5 here against the Nets. Of course, we see the Knicks getting that win against Boston. What is it with this Knicks team? Do you see the success being long-term? We know this Knicks has been a streaky team. They'll win a lot, then they'll lose a lot in bunches. The coach, has the coach there with New York kind of has a he likes to use the veteran players. Some criticize him for not using his young players enough. How do you see this Knicks team moving forward?
Well, I think when when we look at the Knicks 2 years ago when they were a playoff team and somewhat of a contender, that when they got bounced by the Atlanta Hawks in the playoffs, and a series that still leaves a mark on a lot of people, but that when you look at that Knicks team and you look at this Knicks team, very, very similar. Not very great on the offensive end, really big on the defensive end. And I think, when you have a team that can play defense, those are the ones that win. Had this discussion a few times over in recent weeks here and on the morning shows as well as on the weekend shows. And you don't see teams that, that play big offense win the championships. It's the teams that play the big defense. And that's that way in every sport. It is that way in every single sport across the board. It always comes down to defense wins championships. So the Knicks are going to go that route. I don't know if they have the guns to get there, though, with this team.
Yeah, Bucks are playing well. Of course, we know the Knicks, the Bucks, and of course we know the Milwaukee Bucks have been a team that everyone sees as favorite. Philadelphia's team is lingering there as well. Atlanta's a team that is really playing below expectation. There was a lot expected from this team. This, to me, one of the more disappointments. Of course, with the change, what do you think about Quinn Snyder going over there?
I think that I don't love the hire, and I don't like the direction of the franchise, to be honest with you. But I did notice that when I watched the game, and I mentioned this to a couple of the guys the other day on the weekend show as well, when there was a fight in that Sixers-Grizzlies game, all of a sudden, Joel Embiid came over there, and nobody wanted a piece of him. And I'll tell you, it's like, I don't consider him like the meanest, toughest guy in the NBA. He just definitely doesn't look that way. I know he's a great player and everything, but I thought it was pretty much a statement as to what everybody thinks of him when he walked over there. And I mean, it was basically the dogs running for the kennel, man. Nobody wanted a piece of that guy. I mean, it was like, it was game over. It was like, oh, forget it. It's like the beef is squashed.
That's right. Just stay clear. Just stay clear. Almost like Oakley back in the days.
Yeah, and you'd think like a guy like Julius Randle, I could see being like that too. Like nobody wants a piece of.
He kind of like went the Howard, right? He got really skinny, really lean. So maybe that's the way to roll. Especially with how fast the pace the game is be played now, the way they play the game now with all these young players in the starting lineup. We're seeing this pace so fast now in the league.
This is just a different game than they used to play. I know that Jay Briggs often argues with people about LeBron and where he stands in the game, and his argument is always that the guys that we used to watch, didn't really have all the athletic ability that these guys have today. And I agree with them that these guys are faster and stronger and bigger, but I still think that, guys like Jordan and stuff, their game would transcend time.
They would have adjusted their bodies. They would have adjusted.
Yeah, they would have adjusted, and they still would have been the best. And it's I still think as is he would have been fine, in today's NBA. But these guys are just a little bit, I think it's just deeper. The NBA is just a little deeper than.
Although I think Shaq would have had trouble dealing with this pace, though. He always wanted the slow pace with the Lakers.
We we got into a talk this morning about the Patrick Kane trade in the NHL, and I'm not an NHL guy, but we talked about getting a second and third round choice for this guy and what that actually means in the NHL, because in the NBA it's basically you get a second rounder. I mean, you're basically stocking a G League roster. I mean, it's rare. Most of the guys in the NBA are either undrafted or first round picks. Yeah. Just there's those second round picks. It's rare you see them emerge. It's most of those guys are in the G League. Those are the guys that we know from all the college hoops that we watch.
Yeah, or if you watch some of the streams from overseas, you see some of them and some of those teams in China and whatnot. So, all right, Mitch on the Knicks, lay the 7.5. Mitch, why don't you let everybody know what's going on over at Pick Dogs? Of course, March Madness coming in. Probably have some sportsbook promotions and whatnot.
Yeah, we are the kings of college basketball while everybody else is, clamoring for NFL and Super Bowl and NFL playoffs and, the last few weeks in college football bowl season. And we're giving all those adequate attention. We're covering all of these little college basketball games, and they're all big games because I tell you, they all pay the same when you go to bet them at the books. And, of course, we have sportsbook offers at the website, and we'll be getting more into that as we go into it, the new redesign. But right now, we're all about delivering winners. And I think when you look at, I talk about our credit guarantee all the time, and Tony mentions it on the show. But I'll be honest with you, I looked at, February we're closing out the books on February, and we didn't give out a ton of credit. It's like, because our guys won, and I know Al McMordie's going to be on the show in a little bit, and he's coming off, maybe his worst day in a month. But it's like, you still look at his last 30 days, and he's still, absolutely crushed the books, So it's like, that's just the type of month it was, that even the guys that had bad days had good days. It was like, you could go 5-2 on a college basketball Saturday and not make the 24-hour leaderboard at Pick Dogs. That's the type of month that it was, and I expect March to be even stronger. And of course, we have Jay doing his jam session. Now he's got an afternoon jam session. We've got Ron's rundown. We have my 7 free picks in just 5 minutes. We have the drive-through show. We have other videos that are on the way. David Racy now doing his big game of the day short. And like I said, I'm going to be talking with a lot of our other handicappers and getting them out, doing more video on, for our YouTube channel. I'm excited about it. And I'm excited for you guys to all see the new websites, because you guys know I've been around the block a few times, and I will tell you, these are far and away the nicest, best websites we've ever had. It's for me, Tony, and you can come back in, and for me, it's like when you design a website, right? And you haven't, you've been online as long as I have, not longer. That it's so hard when you have this much information to let everybody know exactly what you have at your website. It's like, people are just like, oh, I didn't know you have that. Oh, where did you find this? What website did you get this at? And it's like, Sports Chat Place, I got it. It's Sports Chat Place. Like, where? It's like, and I think what you want to do is you want to let people know what you have to offer, and make them as easy as possible for them to find it and use it. Right?
The key here, and I've
really
seen
is
this,
that simple.
The key here is the user experience, not trying to go after the page views. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, not going after the page views, not going after every penny that's on the table there. It's like, if you provide quality information, a quality product, those are not things you're gonna have to worry about.
Yep.
They just happen organically, and that's what we're just trying to do, is create a user experience, because we do have the betting tools now, which could be its own website if we, really, it's like, it's a whole nother website worth of information. We're finding a way to provide that, to integrate that into the content that we already have. So when you're reading the Sixers Heat article, you're seeing the Heat and Sixers player props. You're seeing the angles for this. You're seeing all the different things that the betting tools can provide, at least a portion of them, to show you, that you can get. And
then a link if they want to explore further, right?
Exactly. Well, yeah. For a lot of our viewers, you kind of almost have to walk them through it. Me included.
Yeah, that's right. But like I say, give them a good user experience, and you won't have to worry about that other stuff. No doubt about that.
Yeah, it all takes care of itself.
Take care of itself.
I've never put any of that other stuff first all these years. So
yeah,
and we've done okay for ourselves. Yeah. So thanks everyone for joining us, and of course I'll be back here next week. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Tony, take her away.
You got it. Mitch here on the drive-thru. All right, guys, we'll continue here on the show. If you just miss any picks, we'll recap at the end of the show. Now it's time for Big Al McMordie. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Big Al has been on the show. This is going on his 3rd year now. The first 2 years here at Pick Dogs, top unit producer every year. Every year. It's been on absolute fire. Coming off a monster month. We'll bring Big Al in right now. I think we're ready to roll here. Let's see here. Oop. Don't want to go too far here. Bring in Big Al McMordie. Here we go. Big Al's ready to roll. Big Al, how you doing?
Pretty good, but unfortunately February had 28 days rather than 27, so
well,
it was one of those days yesterday, but you just move on to March. So
we marched on to March,
approaching the best time of the year.
That's right, best time of the year. Of course, we get in the college basketball conferences, in the tournament, and of course minor tournament action. Lots going on NBA as well tonight. We look at the NBA here. NBA League Pass, Thunder here to host the Lakers. The Thunder now 3.5, total 229.
Yeah, I mean, Oklahoma City, they come into this home game versus Los Angeles off back-to-back straight up and against the spread losses versus the Sacramento Kings. But the Thunder, Tony, still have the very best point spread win percentage in the NBA this season. They're 36, 22, and 3 ATS through their 61 games. That's 62% ATS. And if you take a look going back all the way to 1990 in the NBA, in the second half of the season, so game 42 forward, home teams that have covered the spread at 62% or better on the season, they've done unbelievably well off back-to-back point spread losses. They've gone 58 and 24 ATS, so that bodes well for Oklahoma City here. And then when you take a look at this season, the Thunder have done their best point spread work at home. Obviously, they're doing well on the road. On the road, Oklahoma City's covering by 2.10 points per game, but at home it goes all the way up to 5.88 points per game. So that's where they're doing their best work this season. The Lakers, in contrast, have been better at home. The Lakers are 3.78 points per game better at, I still want to call it Staples Center than,
Crypto,
on the road. I can't get used to that.
I know.
Anyway, so the Thunder are also 29 and 16 and 1 ATS the last 46 meetings versus the Lakers, including 15 and 7 ATS here in Oklahoma City, and also at home. Oklahoma City is 10 and 2 ATS off back-to-back ATS losses. So I think this sets up pretty well for the Thunder. They're just consistent, they don't have too many long stretches of bad play. So we're going to, from a point spread perspective. So we're going to take Oklahoma City minus the points.
All right, big out here in Oklahoma City, laying the points here against the Lakers. Of course, we're going to do a subset here with favorite and underdog. We've seen the Thunder last couple of years, a lot of point spread success as the underdog. How does that translate to the Thunder as a favorite?
I can look. Obviously that's true. They've generally been, they're a bad team, so they're generally an underdog. I'll only take me a second to see how they've done, in the favorite role. How long do you want me to go back?
Well, they've been really point spread champions the last two seasons.
Last 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take a second. Last 2 seasons as a favorite, OKC. Would you believe they're 11 and 9, 55% ATS.
There you go. So they've showing the profit there in that.
At home, but what's actually interesting about this is at home they're 11 and 5 ATS. They're 0 and 4 ATS as a road favorite. So.
Keep an eye. Remember that.
It's hard to believe they ever were a road favorite, right?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think in those situations when of course, there's been some pretty against San Antonio. I don't know. There might have been some.
But close. Twice against the Houston Rockets, once against the Magic, once against Detroit. So.
Yeah, the ones you figure would be. That's what you figure. So interesting there on OKC. So they're getting it done here as favorites here, especially at home, 11 and 5. That's a pretty strong mark here against the Lakers. There's the play. This one will have a start time here of 8 Eastern time. All right, Big Al, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge for tonight's action. Of course, showing great profit in college basketball for this season and this year. Over the past 30 days, nearly 1,200 over 1,200 units of profit. We have college basketball on the board tonight, NBA and hockey. What do you have going on over at Pick Dodge Premium?
I've got a triple pack in the NBA. All 3 are side selections. I've got a 5-game package in college, plus I have 2 standalone plays, one in the Big South tournament, the other in the Northeast Conference. So 7 college plays in all, and then a triple pack in the NBA.
That's right. I get up over with Big Al McMordie over at Pick.com. Look at these results in college basketball. And fantastic. 1,946 units of profit, all documented. So you can verify that going to Big Al's handicapper page. Go down to Pick History. You can see all the plays that are documented tonight. As Big Al was saying, a 5-pack from College Hoops. Go 5-0 Big Al tonight. It is credit guarantee. Must turn a profit or the amount you purchase is credit back in your account for site credits. That is credit guarantee. Also, a lot of these plays sold individually. Also with a 3-pack from the NBA. So lots of action from Big Al. Instead of buying all these plays individually, you may consider the 1-month All Sports Pass. Get all Big Al's premium plays here for 30 days. What's covered here is obviously is NBA, NHL. He's in action with XFL as well, and of course college basketball. This takes you all the way through the Elite 8. So this tournament will whittle down to 4 teams. That's when it expires. So lots of coverage from college basketball. Also the minor tournaments, your NIT, CBI, and the Basketball Classic, which was once the CIT. But that's also covered there as well, Big Al.
Jesus, I don't even know how those minor tournaments survive anymore. I really don't.
Because they charge money. These teams have to pay is a pay-per-play situation. So they're kind of brokering. They're kind of brokering it to get money. And you're going to get some exposure. You're going to get on TV, bring in some fans, and some of them do it.
I mean, yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't either. I'm still waiting.
If I was an athletics director, I wouldn't do it.
Many don't.
I don't think there's. Yeah.
And sometimes they stay in Florida. Sometimes the teams, to limit travel, they just kind of becomes a regional tournament where you see a lot of A-Sun teams, and they just kind of keep the travel at minimum. You see, and I think sometimes they may just say, we're just going to play this on neutral site. Do you know where the NIT final is played this year?
It's not in Madison Square Garden is the implication, right?
That is correct.
If I had to guess, I'm going to guess Las Vegas.
You're right.
In Las Vegas. Okay. That's almost like a sign of the times, and it's not a good sign of the times, right? I mean, if for the NIT to abandon its history after how many years, 80 years, or however long it's been at Madison Square Garden, I mean, to go to Las Vegas, Jesus Christ, that's crazy.
Yeah, that is nuts indeed. All right, Big Al, have yourself a great evening. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Thanks, Tony. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Got a Big Al McMordie here on the drive. Reminder, guys, if you missed a pick, we're getting a lot of people sign in. We will recap for you at the end of the show. Let's continue on here on the drive. It's time for Wayne Scott. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium, doing great work up there. Catch his video series with Ninos, their three-legged prop parlay video of the day, up for you guys right now over on the site. Wayne's ready to roll here. Wayne, what's happening?
What's going on, Tony T? What's good, Pick Dogs family?
Everything's going great there, Wayne. Tonight we go to the NBA. Here is the Suns. Big news here. Big news in this game. Everyone's talking about KD is coming back. Of course, I'm obviously probably will be a minute's restriction. I didn't look up the information. I can only assume that. But the Suns now favored up to 10.5, total 229.
Yes, sir. There is big news about KD coming back. There's a lot of player props on that side, but I'm going to take you to a player prop on the other side of it with Charlotte. There's also some big news with Charlotte. We all know LaMelo Ball's out with an ankle injury. He'll be out for the rest of the season. I hate to hear that. But, hey, it's the NBA. Injuries happen, and it's next man up. And the next best man on the Charlotte Hornets is Terry Rozier. And I like for Terry Rozier to go over 22.5 points at minus 125 odds. Now, if you guys been checking out the player prop video, me and Al been pretty good on finding people early. We were on Bridges pretty early, right after Booker got hurt. One of our favorite plays, another one was White, right after Smart got hurt. So we're going to go with I love Terry Rozier tonight. Now, this is only a 50% hitter in his last 10, but he was in the game with LaMelo Ball. He no longer has LaMelo Ball. Around here in Charlotte, we love to call him Scary Terry. There's a reason he has that nickname, because he can go out for 30 points in a heartbeat. And Terry Rozier is a great player. He plays the point guard and shooting guard position. Now, I dug and went back to the Suns to see how point guards have been doing away when they're away like they are tonight. And Holiday, last time when they played the Bucks, had 33 points. Halliburton only had 18, but we know he's not a big scorer, so for him to have 18, that was a lot. Before that, they were Atlanta. Trae Young had 36. Cam Thompson exploded on them for 43. Terry Rozier, they also played the Suns at the Suns, and Terry Rozier had 19 in that one. So he got 2 points under this. Wet ball. Terry Rozier's averaging 35 minutes a game. He scored. He goes over more at home where he's at. And I like for Terry Rozier to go over this number tonight, and I think this should be a pretty quick and easy one for him tonight. Also, I like to mention the Suns are 5th in defense, so they play great defense. And giving up 111 on the season, but on the road it bumps up to 113. It's not much, but hey, just to know that they don't play as good on the road will help me. And the Suns also give the 5th fewest assists to point guard, so they D up good. And so I think that bodes well for Terry Rozier to try to score more. So I like him over his points total in this one, Tony.
All right, we got Wayne here on Rozier over 22.5 points. A player prop here, of course, here as no Ball in the lineup. How do you think his impact's going to be as far as a ball handling and running the offense of having carry those duties?
I think he is one of them players that can play the point guard and shooting guard. Matter of fact, when Ball was in the lineup, he was a shooting guard. Tonight they have him listed at point guard. So I don't. They got Dennis coming off the bench. If he doesn't do well, I expect Terry Rozier to play both point and shooting guard. Obviously not at the same time, but when somebody else is coming in, I think he's just gonna stay on the court and get bumped over to the other position. So.
All right, there you go. With Wayne here, Terry Rozier over 22.5 points. This one have a start time 7 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Wayne, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge Print for tonight's action. Of course, showing great results over the last 7 days. 1,025 units of profit over at Pick Dodge Print. Those numbers are verifiable by going to Wayne's handicapper page. Go down to Pick History. You'll see that up there. Also showing profit NHL as well as NBA. And of course, last 3 days showing profit yesterday, coming off a winning day. Lots on the board tonight. Hockey, 9 on the NBA. Lots of college hoops as we got a lot of conference tournaments in action as well. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, like Tony said, decent day yesterday, 5-3. I did lose 2 of them games by 1 point. I was on the Bulls, Clemson. Hurt my heart, man. I definitely want to get those back today. I got my Wayne's Make It Take It, my best bet in college basketball. I love that play. And I got my Wayne's Winner Circle win, which is a 3-pack. Got 1 play in the NBA, 1 play in the NHL, and 1 play in college basketball. I have 6 college basketballs total today. I'm loving college basketball today. 2 NBAs and 1 NHL. Give me 8 plays not total today. So looking right when I get off this, I'm going to the casino. Got some tickets I'm ready to cash. I'm going to chill out there today. I got a lot of plays I'm ready to cash.
They get cash in there with Wayne Scott over at Pick Dogs. From you see the results here, 1,025 units of profit, all documented over the last 7 days over at Pick Dogs. So get on board with Wayne Scott right now. Game of the day right now from college basketball is up there. That's his $15 premium. Of course, that is credit guarantee. Must turn a profit or the amount you purchase is credit back in your account for side credits. That is credit guarantee. Also, a 3-pack in there, a mixed sport 3-pack NBA college basketball. But instead of buying all these plays individually, you can get the 3 or 7 day pass, but again, here we are on March 1st. It's the 30-day pass. It's the 30-day pass. That is your best value right now. All of Wayne's premium plays are for 30 days. That's all his NBA, NHL, and of course, this will also cover for Wayne all the NCAA tournament all the way until it reaches the Final Four. At the end of the Elite 8 round, when this tournament dwindles down to 4 teams, that's when that 30-day pass will expire. So lots of coverage in college basketball, all the conference tournaments, all the NCAA tournament for the bulk of it. And of course, don't forget the minor tournaments there, NIT, CBI, as well, and the basketball classics also covered there with that 30-day pass. Use the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save 15% off at a second capper with that 2-for-1 capper promotion. It's even greater value there. All right, Wayne, as always, great having you on the show. See that success. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow. And of course, we want everybody to know about your video series here as you and El Ninos got together and put together the 3-legged prop parlay of the day.
Yes, sir. It's prop bet parlay. That's where I go over my favorite player prop. As something like I just did, Alex go over his favorite player prop, and we go over player prop that we get off of Pick Dog. Every time we get a dog prop, it's coming straight off of Pick Dog. And this player prop that I got today came right off a Sports Chat place, guys. So like Mitch was saying, take advantage of all they offer on the website, man. A lot of stuff going on there. Stuff, man. I ask you that you do nothing but like it. So yeah, check it out.
Yeah, on the betting tools, indeed. All right, Wayne, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Tony T. Pick Dog family. I'll take care. Let's cash tonight.
Let's cash tonight. Wayne Scott here on the drive-thru. Reminder, guys, you miss a pick. We'll be back in just a second. Let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Up next, we're going to go ahead and welcome in El Ninos to catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Of course, we'll bring El in right now. I think we're ready to roll here. Let's bring him in right now. Let's see here. We can get him here. El Ninos to go. Oops. We'll get him in right now. El Ninos ready to roll here with El. El Ninos in here. El, what's happening? Oh, wrong El. Wrong El. El Ninos is on Skype tonight. That's right. Bring him in here. El Ninos. El, what's happening?
Doing pretty good. How are you doing, Tom?
Doing great. All right, here we go tonight at 10 Eastern time on ESPN. We have Trailblazers here to host the Pelicans. Portland, a 2.5-point favorite, total 233.
Yeah, it should be a great game, by the way. You know, a couple angles you could look at for the side on the game. But I do have a premium on it, so I'll be looking at a prop for everyone tonight. And looking kind of a similar angle that Wayne is going. I mean, CJ McCollum is a guy we saw play shooting guard a lot next to the Damian Lillard, who will be going up against in a little point guard duo tonight. And I think he'll be getting a lot more point guard duties, considering that Jose Alvarado will be out the lineup. So I'm looking at CJ McCollum to get over his 5.5 assists tonight. I just think it's a good spot, especially against the Blazers team that gives up the 5th most assists to point guards. As I mentioned, that injury to Alvarado should just help McCollum get over this number. Now, when he was in Portland, his assist numbers were pretty low, but we've seen them climb a little bit since he's joined the Pelicans. And again, one more time, with no Alvarado, I think he gets just that many more assists for us tonight.
All right, now Ninos here on CJ McCollum over the total here of 5.5 assists in this one. Yeah, there's one thing with this Portland team, not much defense around the interior. We've talked about their big guys being out here, like Nurkic is out. He's a big draw. I know it's just pretty much Eubanks. Eubanks kind of gets in he's kind of a little bit of a hothead in there. He gets into foul trouble sometimes, and of course, I think that's people are picking on this Portland Trailblazers team around the bucket, and I think that there's an issue there with defense with this Portland team. We saw them crack. They cracked them in the second half. That's not by mistake. Golden State knew what to do in that second half adjustments here against Portland, and we've seen it with this Trailblazers team. Is just kind of just go inside on them.
Yeah, I mean, Nurkic obviously not the best center in the league, but he has a big presence on defense. I mean, he's that big center that gets you that gives you that defensive presence, grabs you those rebounds to finish the defensive possessions off, and yeah, I mean. It's not just him either. They got a few injuries that they're dealing with, and it's just, as you said, not been the best defensive performance out of this team.
All right, El Nino says CJ McCollum over 5.5 assists. This one will have a start time 10 Eastern time. This is your doubleheader game over on ESPN. All right, El Nino, so let's take a look over at Pick Dodge Print for tonight's action. So good results over the last 7 days, 380 units of profit, all documented over at Pick Dogs Premium. You can verify that by going over to El Nino's handicapper page and check it out there. Of course, tonight we got on the board lots of NBA, NHL, of course, college basketball, a lot of conference tournament action coming to you from some of the minor conferences. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, I got a 3-pack with, again, my best bet in the NBA, NHL, and college basketball. Then I got my best bets in each sport as well, sold separately. Also a 3-pack in the NHL and a couple extra plays in the NBA as well for everyone on the long-term passes. That's
right, guys. Got on board with El Ninos over at Pick Dodge. From good results over the last 7 days. You can see that verified come off his winning day yesterday. As his 3-pack is Alphabets, NBA, NHL, college basketball, all in a 3-pack. So get on board with it. That is credit guarantee. You must turn a profit or the amount you purchase is credit back in your account for site credits. That is credit guarantee. Also in there with a pack here from the NHL Hat Trick, a 3-pack. But instead of buying all these plays individually, you may opt for the 7-day pass with Al. Get all of El Ninos' premium plays for 7 days. Includes all his NBA, college hoops, NHL in that 3-day pass. Use the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save 15% off. Add a second capper with that 2-for-1 capper promotion. Even greater value there. Al Ninos is always great having you show. I was going to say, you guys, you said something about the your three prop video series with Wayne.
Yeah, I mean, we got our props for you guys tonight, but we'll see. We're discussing everything behind the scenes, so we'll be back out with something shortly for everyone. All
right, Al's got something behind the curtain. We can't open the curtain. We'll find out what's this.
Not just yet.
Not just yet. Okay, they're still talking behind the scenes on everything. All right, Al, have a great night. We'll catch up with you tomorrow. Al Ninos here on the drive-thru. All right, guys, if you miss any picks, we'll recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Let's bring in Rod Zawacky next up. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Of course, Rod does fine work. He's on his way. Edmonton for the big one tonight. Rod, what's happening?
Hey, just definitely enjoying the nice sunny weather out here in Edmonton. About an hour or so to puck drop.
Right.
Good big old game, Leafs and Oilers. The Leafs won visit to Edmonton this season, so I'm excited. Give me a good game.
Good game tonight indeed. But tonight we go here as the Avalanche will be in action here against the Devils. The Avs are favored 130, total of 6.
Yeah, you look at this game going on, the Devils and the Avs. Vitek Vanacek's going to get the start for the Devils in this one. He's got a 237 goals against average and a 913 save percentage. This Devils team has been pretty good on the road this season. And surprisingly, we get the young goalie for Colorado in goal tonight. Justice Anunin is going to get his second start of his young NHL career. His first start of the season of his NHL career was a good one. He got the nice win, only gave up 1 goal. He's got a .950 save percentage in that one game, and he's going to get the start tonight for the Avs in goal. And you look at the Avs, this team's been rolling along. Don't count out the champs. Here they come. They've won 6 straight, and in those 6 wins, they've only given up 10 goals, playing lights-out defense. 5 of those goals have come in that one game against the Oilers. So you're looking at 5 goals in 5 games. It's like 1 goal a game or less. And you look at the Devils. Devils are 18-42 in their last 60 games versus the Central Division. Devils do not fare well against the Central Division. Devils don't fare so well off of days of rest either. So 3+ days rest for these Devils. That equals 2 and 6 off of 3 days rest. Rest equals rust for these Devils. When you look at the Avs at home, 75-27 the last 102 at home. They're also 12-2-1 the last 15 versus these Devils. We're going to take the Colorado Avalanche on the money line to continue their nice winning streak, win 7 straight.
There you go. We got Ron here on the Avalanche laying the -130 here against the Devils. You know, not all 6-game winning streaks are the same. People might say, oh, they must have had a long homestand. No, they've won 3 at home, 3 on the road. That makes it even more impressive.
Exactly, right? It definitely wasn't just a homestand. They've played on the road. They beat teams on the and it's just not the bad teams. They beat Vegas last time out 3-0, shut them out. And, Vegas was hot coming out of that All-Star break, and the Avs just shut them down. Champs doing the champs things. We're going to go with the Avs here. I love them tonight.
All right, Avs here, -130 here against the Devils. This one will have a start time here of 9 Eastern time. All right, Rod Zawacky, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge Pin for tonight's action. Of course, we have a lot of hockey on the board, lots of college basketball. Of course, we know a lot of the conference tournaments, minor ones in action tonight. NBA with a 9-game card. Doing great work over the past 7 days. 885 units of profit. What do you have going on over at Pick Dodge Premium?
And over at Pick Dodge Premium tonight, I've got a 3-pack in college hoops. You can scoop that up, grab that 3-pack. Been rolling along in college hoops. It's March. March Madness is here. So I also got 1 play in the NHL. My NHL $15 sniper play. You can scoop that up singly over at Pick Dodge Premium. Or now's the time. Grab a 3-day, grab a 7-day, and your best deal going. Grab that 30-day pass and join me all the way up to the Final Four. And let's make some money. Use that 2-for-1 capper deal. Pair me up. Always 2 heads are better than 1, and you can't go wrong with a 2-for-1 capper deal. So use that promo code PICK at checkout. Save 50% off your purchases over at Pick Dodge Premium. Jump aboard. Let's make some money.
That's right. Get on board here with Rod Zawacky over at Pick Dodge. From 885 units of profit last 7 days. It's all documented over at Pick Dodge Prim tonight. We know Rod's got his college basketball Rim Rockers triple 3-pack up there on the board. $39 credit guarantee. Must earn a profit. The amount you purchase is credit back in your account for side credits. That is credit guarantee. $15 NHL Sniper. That $15 play. Get it on board. Is it this one tonight? Is it the Oilers and Maple Leafs? We'll see. You got Ellie shaking his head.
It is.
It is. All right, there you go. It is. That's why we didn't talk much about the game. You got there. It's right there for you to pick up. The NHL Sniper play from Rod Zawacky is this game he's attending tonight. So get on board. Of course, the long-term passes. We've talked about the 30-day pass. This will take you all the way to NCAAB tournament, all the way through the finals of the Elite 8. So when this tournament whittles down to 4, that's when your 30 days all sports pass expires. So lots of coverage in college basketball with that 30-day pass. Also, NHL is on tap here, getting near the end of the regular season there, right? When you take that 30-day pass, because we know the NHL playoffs always start before the NBA playoffs. So we're getting deep here in the season when this 1-month pass expires. And of course, the NBA covered as well. Use the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save 15% off. There might be some baseball in there as well. Come to think of it, I think opening day is in March this year. So
yeah, I think you're right. There might be a couple of baseball in there near the end of the 30-day pass. Yeah. Definitely.
That's a big card. I think everybody played. I think it's all 15 games there to start the season, or 16 games in baseball, right? Big card, I think, to start it off.
Right?
Yeah. I think it's 15.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, you'll definitely get some baseball in there.
Yep, there'll be a lot. All right, Rod. Rod is doing this segment. And are we in negative temperature, or is it just above zero?
-3.5 right now outside.
All nice right. Out. You hear that, guys? It's never too cold. -3, -3, and he does a segment. You got to tip your cap. You go get his 1-month pass, my man. He is giving you a free pick in -3 temperature degrees right outside Edmonton Arena. All right, that's impressive.
Right outside Rogers.
There you go. Right out Rogers. All right, Robbie, looking forward to those pictures on your Twitter from the game, some video as well. Have a great night. We'll catch up with you again on Friday, on Steak Friday.
Definitely have yourself a good night, Tony. Good luck with the bet. Let's get that winner. Go Avs! And
That's right.
We'll see everybody else tomorrow morning.
See you tomorrow morning. Rod Zawacky here on the drive. So let's continue our coverage here. Miss a pick, we'll recap at the end. So now it's time for Dana Lane. We'll get another hockey pick from Dana. We got to get a remote here from Dana from the Vegas Arena after Rod just did that -3 segment there in Edmonton. We'll bring in Dana right now. Dana, what's happening?
Well, I'll counter his negative temperature there with the fact that it started to snow 3 times in Vegas today, so everybody's freaking out about that, although it is about 45 degrees. So
45 degrees, yes.
Good for Rod.
I know, that's right. Good for Rod there. Hardcore fan driving.
You got to be kidding me. I have to follow this.
I know.
I feel like I want to go outside. I'm just going to go outside.
That's a story, brother. That's a story for your radio shows, man.
I feel like I'm giving 50%.
There you go. TNT tonight. We got Golden Knights here hosting Hurricanes. Hurricanes favor on the road, total 5.5.
Yeah, this is interesting, and it kind of plays off of Rod's game because New Jersey's there, and Carolina's in Vegas, and 2 teams that are fighting it out for supremacy in their division. And Carolina has that 3-point lead over New Jersey, and I really think New Jersey in the end, and of course we'll see what happens after March 3rd. But I really think New Jersey at this point is going to catch Carolina. I love this Jersey team, and I think they're going to get better and better. And I like them in the same way that I like Ottawa. I love the moves that Ottawa is doing right now, and I don't think, obviously, it's not going to affect them this year. But next year going forward, I think the Sens are a team to watch. But anyway, on to this game. Vegas Golden Knights, underdog at home. They have only been an underdog at home when they're receiving plus 120 or more 8 times in their existence, which hasn't been very long, but that's 8 times in 5 seasons. They are 5-3 when they are a plus 20 underdog at home. We're not going to worry about the money line, but we are going to look at the total in this game. And I know that if you look at the numbers, I mean, it certainly screams that this game's going to go under the total. But I think there's a lot of dynamics at play here. First of all, Vegas is down to their 4th-string goaltender with Adin Hill. Now, Adin Hill's played extremely well this year. I mean, he's not your typical 4th-string goaltender. He's very reliable, very strong in net. They play well in front of him. My only question, Tony, is now that they play a team in Carolina who is known, probably one of the top 3 to 5 teams in the league that is fantastic in applying offensive pressure on opposing goaltenders. And it's a lot different than, we saw Calgary the other night put up over 50 shots against the Boston Bruins and in a loss. And a lot of those shots were deep in the paint and in the slot area. And it was not this perimeter shooting, shots on goal total that most goaltenders can handle. And Carolina is very similar to that. And they're going to put a lot of pressure on Hill. And if Hill walks out of here with a win, this is going to be by far his best performance. I don't think, he's going to give up 5 goals, and I don't think Freddie Anderson's going to give up, 6 or 7. But I do think that 5.5 total is pretty small. I can definitely see a 3-2 game with an empty netter at the end. So that's kind of what I'm banking on. And it is interesting, too, from an offensive standpoint, we get to see exactly where the Golden Knights are. And I talk about this identity crisis that I think Vegas has had for probably about a year and a half now. And they picked up Ivan Barbashev the other day, and they're going to put him on the top line with Jack Eichel. And I hope that this kind of kickstarts Eichel, because he's a guy that was expected to have 80 to 90 points, and he's going to fall way short of that, way short of the expectations. And I'm just still trying to find that line that I'm scared of and going into the postseason. I haven't seen it yet, but perhaps with the addition of Barbashev, that top line of Eichel and March or so is really going to put a spark into their game. I anticipate this game, as most games, when Carolina plays Pacific Division teams for some reason, they forget how to play defensive hockey. But I suspect that the pace of this game is going to be back and forth. I don't expect a very defensive game. I think there's a lot of guys on that ice right now that want to keep their job or don't want to be traded. And we got 2 days, like I said, from the trade deadline. I expect the pace of play to be fast and furious between two teams that might face each other in the Stanley Cup final one day.
All right, we got Dana here on Hurricanes Golden Knights over a 5.5 in this one. I just happened to look here at this the Carolina's schedule. A lot of time off here between that loss to Anaheim and this game here against Vegas. And how long were they in Vegas for?
Well, they've been here for at least a day that I know of. I'm not sure if they came in right after their last game, but I know that they've been here. They didn't just come in today, so I know they've been here at least a day, and gives them a chance to acclimate a little bit. And I wish I kind of had numbers with teams that travel the day of the game versus having a day between games or coming in and getting acclimated. But they've been here. I mean, it's not like they didn't just fly in this morning.
Yeah, 3 days rest here, and I'm just thinking about the players in Vegas. Hey, this is a great place. I guess if you're going to have 3 days off, no better way to start a road trip than in Vegas. Let's get out a little early.
Well, the other thing too is, Tony, I mean, when you have 3 days off, and coaches will tell you that it's practice time during the season is almost non-existent. So when you get that little pocket of time for when you have 3 days off, you do get some time on the ice, and that's very valuable to kind of reset. And of course, Shane Gostisbehere was also picked up by Carolina. He won't play tonight, but he was picked up from the Arizona Coyotes for a 2026 third rounder, I believe. So that's down the road. Smart deal for Arizona, because they're not going to get a high draft pick out of Carolina anytime soon, but maybe by that time. So you do have some moving parts, and now you got some practice time to get those moving parts settled down. So having these days are extremely important, something that you just don't have during the course of a season usually.
All right, we got Dana here. Hurricanes Golden Knights over 5.5. This one have a start time here, 10 Eastern time. All right, Dana, let's take over. I picked Dodge Sprint for tonight's action. Of course, showing profit in college hoops for tonight. We got a lot of college hoops on the board here. So we hit the top of the hour. NBA as well as hockey. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Now we have three college basketball games up, and of course that's bundled in the package where you must profit, or you get your money, or you get your immediate site credit if the package doesn't profit. So we have 3 college basketball games up there right now. The other day, something I'm extremely excited about. I get excited about this every single year at this time. Major League Baseball season package is up there as well. It's at a discounted rate. Will not be that rate once the season starts at the end of the month. Been putting a lot of work into baseball to make sure that we have another profitable season. So get on board with that, and of course get my weekly package or the monthly package if you're not comfortable going all the way through the season. But Major League Baseball is coming. I'm excited about it, and I feel as prepared for baseball season as I have ever, really.
All right, guys, got more Dana Lane over at Pick Dodge Prim. So good prop for college hoops for this year on the board tonight. A 3-pack here on the board. Basketball Bookie Crushers. So get on board. Top college basketball selection here and one low price. 3 of those plays on the board right now with Dana Lane on that 3-pack. Also, individual plays up there as well from Dana. But again, your best value is the long-term pass. We've talked about the 3 and 7 day pass, but really it's a 30-day all sports pass right now. Got all of Dana's premium plays for 30 days, including all of his NBA, NHL. Of course, college basketball has a lot of coverage. This will take you to the end of the Elite 8 when this NCAA tournament dwindles down to 4 teams. It's the bulk of the tournament here covered in that 30-day pass. All your conference tournaments, final regular season games here, as well as all the minor tournaments. We have the CBI, the NIT, and the Basketball Classic. And you know where the NIT tournament is going to finish, right?
That's right, at the Orleans Hotel and Casino in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada.
That's right. So get on board, guys, with Dana's 30-day all sports pass. Use that promo code PICK at checkout, and you'll save 15% off. Add a second capper with that 2-for-1 capper promotion. Even greater value there. All right, Dana, it's always great having you show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Thanks, Tony. All the best to you guys. Thank you.
Got it. Dana Lane here on the drive through. Let's continue, guys, on the show. Let's get to the recap, then we'll get to my pick, because my pick starts late night tonight. So we'll get to the recap. We do have games beginning in 10 minutes. Even though it says 7 Eastern time, they usually start about 10 after. So let's go ahead and let's get to the recap, and we're ready to go with the recap right now. All right, we had Chris with the Bulls here. This is one of those that start here in 10 minutes. Bulls laying the 6 against the Pistons. Mitch was on the Knicks, laid the 7.5 against the Nets. Al McMordie, Big Al Thunder, laid the 3.5 against the Lakers. Wayne is on Terry Rozier over 22.5 points. Al Ninos, CJ McCollum over 5.5 assists. Rod Zawacky, Avalanche lay the minus 130 against the Devils. Dana on Hurricanes, Golden Knights under 5, over 5.5 there from Dana Lane, as well as Utah State at minus 2.5 against UNLV. All right, guys, we'll go ahead and get to my play here as we'll put that up on the board right now. Utah State and UNLV, 2.5 here is where we're going here with Utah State. And really, UNLV is a team that has lost 6 games on their home court, believe it or not. It's not, they're having some issues right now shooting. Over their past 5 games, just 39%. The Aggies have shot the ball very well away from home this season. The Rebels are a really poor shooting team in the Mountain West. Just 34% from 3, 48% from 2. Very weak on the glass defensively. Plus, they're giving up 39% from three-point range. And the Aggies are second in offensive efficiency against the Mountain West. A good three-point shooting team in conference at 39%. And that's how we'll go. And they defend well inside. So we'll go here with the Aggies here, lay the 2.5. All right, that's my over at Pick Dodge Premium. I do have 4 premium plays up there right now. A best bet from college basketball, as well as a 3-pack featuring 2 NBA and a college basketball play there. So get on board with it. Remember that promo code PICK at checkout and you'll save 15% off. You can also add a second capper with that 2-for-1 cap promotion. Even greater value there on my long-term passes. I have a 3, 7, or 30-day pass. Get all my premium plays for that period of time you select when you go to my handicapper page and make that purchase. So again, that 30-day pass, get all my NBA and college shoots for 30 days. And that will take you all the way to the end of the Elite 8. So when this conference tournament, when the NCAA tournament dwindles down to 4 teams, that's when it expires. So lots of coverage here right now over with that 1-month all sports pass. So go ahead and get signed up. All right, that's going to do it here for the show, guys. I'd like to thank everyone in the chat room. James Thrower, 48 Perry up there. Darren Turner always chiming in. Looking forward to spring training. I am too. Nick beats Vegas. He likes his parlay with Alabama. Creighton. Alabama lane 9.5. Creighton on the money line. He likes that one. And that one. And of course, we got also social media. Javier Cisneros is in there. Blake is in there as well. Ramon in there. Lots of folks. Tyler Josepho as well. I'd like to thank everybody joining us on the chat rooms across social media. Appreciate everyone's contributions as well. That's going to do it for our edition of the drive-thru. Guys, make sure you tune in again tomorrow live here at 6 Eastern time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring in our cappers here from Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. They'll give us the plays in real time. So make sure you guys tune in. Also, lots of video series here on Pick Dogs. Don't forget the morning show, 10 a.m. Eastern time. It's Mitch, Chris, and Rod. Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes. Betting tool shows from Mitch as well. Also, the Puck Dogs, Chris and Rod Zawacky with their NHL videos. We also have Ron Romanelli's Bank Shop Breakdown from college basketball, as well as the NBA. Of course, the NBA Jam Session with Jay. You can catch that here on the channel. Also, his live Jam Session in the afternoons, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Don't forget, we also have the parlay video from Javon every day, as well as the MMA show coming up. I don't believe we didn't hear from tomorrow, right? It's going to be here Thursday. So the UFC show will be here Thursday. It's Brad and Mills. That'll tune on right after my show here at 6 Eastern. So 7 Eastern time tomorrow will be the UFC show, Brad and Mills. So make sure you guys tune into that as well. All right, let's get the injury report before we let you go here. The Bulls and the Pistons. Green out for Chicago. On the Detroit side is Duran, Levers, and Stewart out for Detroit. The Suns and the Hornets. Ross and Shamet out for the Suns. Martin and Washington out for Charlotte. We know that LaMelo Ball out for the year. Cleveland and Boston, one of the big ones tonight on ESPN. Cleveland, a clean injury report. Boston, Gallinari out. So both teams fairly healthy for this one. Philly and Miami. Dedmon out. Embiid is questionable. Embiid still listed as questionable for this game. On the Miami side, Lowry, Yurtseven, and Jovic are out. For the Knicks and Nets, Simmons and Sumner out for Brooklyn. The Knicks, a clean injury report. Memphis and Houston, LaRavia, questionable. Adams still out for Memphis. Houston, a clean injury report. Orlando and Milwaukee. We got Isaac out. We also have Matthews out. Middleton out for Milwaukee. Lakers and Thunder. Lakers, Davis, James, Russell out. For OKC, Gilgeous-Alexander, Pokazevsky, and Williams out there. Also, Pelicans and Trailblazers. We've got out for the Pelicans, Williamson, Nats, Liddell, and Alvarado. Valanciunas, Richardson are probable. Portland outside, Arcidiacono out. Baji, Nurkic, Winslow out. and Simon's questionable. So there you go. You're all caught up with the injuries for today. All right, that's going to do it for our show. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us. Let's go ahead and bring in our crew from tonight's show. Going to wait goodbye to you guys. You guys have a great evening, afternoon. We'll catch up with you again here tomorrow.